Hey everyone, welcome to July's Currently Inked. I decided to wait until the end of the month this time to do my Currently Inked versus putting it out right at the beginning of the month because I would change my mind, I would add some inks before, I would buy pens, I would ink them up and so on. And even though I'm doing really well on my July, no buy July, yeah, that's the way. I thought it'd be kind of cool just to wait and see at the end of the month everything that I had inked. And the cool thing is, you may see this big blank spot here. So essentially what happened is I have some inks that are either ride or die inks for me. Ones like the Takasume ink. Right here in this exact pen, which you can see has been here since February. And I have some inks in pens that I had inked because I received them in June. And so I didn't actually make an official, this is the color, but I put so much in the pen, I wanted to keep using it. And then when I did my big pen cleaning thing, I kind of looked at the upcoming PET tapes that I wanted to use, as well as pens that had a lot of ink left in them, and got to where I am today, which is to say there are 15 pens with 15 different inks inked up for the month of July, but 5 of them are ones that you have not seen yet, and 10 are ones that you have in one way, shape, or another. You've either seen them because they've been on a previously inked, like this one right here with a star-spattered hill, or you've seen them because they've been in a new pen day video. So that's where we are, and I plan to go through the new guys here and put the other one here. And just a quick word, my week is stupidly overplanned at the moment, so I'm going to have to make this video in tiny little pieces here and there. So forgive me in advance if the light quality, the brightness and the quality and stuff like that changes throughout this video. I hope it's not going to be too distracting, and at the end we'll do like a final look through, so at least you'll get all the dried inks in the same lighting. Okay, all right, let's get into it. Okay, let's get you zoomed in a little bit more here while we go through this. And one thing you're going to notice with this month is that when you look at least these 5 that I have, they're not going to be like in my opinion, kind of a cohesive color story. But again, I was going off of matching things that I already had inked up in my pens, and then also the different decorations like PET tape and washi tape that I plan to use for the month. Okay, disclaimer out of the way. Things I am using: water, paper towels, my glass dip pen, which, wow, you can't even really see it in there on the thing, from Glass Liebman. It's on Etsy. And then the pens themselves, since they're already inked up, since I've been using them all month. So this first one, I want to put in my brightest ink color of the month, and that is going to be the Dominant Industries Glacier. It's a little bit older of an ink. This one was gifted to me by my friend Allison, and I put it in this pen right here, which is an Opus 88 Mini. This is the Grumpy Ming-ming, the gray one. I think they've had a couple of these since then. And you can see, even just in this pen, even though I haven't, agitated this pen very much just yet, it is very heavy on the shimmer. So let me take this off camera a little bit and give it a really good shake, and then we'll put it down. So this is a very pretty blue. It is vibrant and beautiful. It did kind of clog that pen a little bit, at least once, but I think that was kind of partly my fault because I left on vacation and I left the pen open. Open in the sense of it is one of those pens where you have to open the back in order to write, right? So it pulls up the plunger, so look at all the cat hair. It pulls up the plunger in the pen so that the ink can flow, and I accidentally left it this way, and I think it just got a little bit encrusted on the inside there. So not a big deal, just ran a little bit of water, let it dry out, and it was fine. So I do think that was my fault. I just wasn't being careful or paying attention. And then, all right, let's write with a pen, and then I'll do the swatch at the bottom here. But first, let's be smart and actually close up the ink before we go get crazy. Okay, so let's shake. Oh, you can see I just set it down for just a little bit, and it's already kind of crazy. All right, so when there's high shimmer, I do what I call Play-Dohing the pen, and then seesaw. So seesaw and Play-Doh. Let me make sure this is open, and it is. All right, we will start with the ink color itself, which is, I need to tilt this just a little bit more. You know what? I need this raised. What can I use? What can I use? Oh, I can use my book over here and raise this up just a smidge. Oh, so much better. So much better. Okay, so this is Dominant Industries. Oh, you can see it there. Also, guys, I have no idea why, but I always say industries, and it's industry. It's just like one of those things that I just can't stop saying. It drives me nuts. This is their Pearl series, but more importantly, it's called Glacier. And it is in my Opus 88 mini, which is Grumpy Ming-ming. This is a, what is this? This is definitely a medium nib. Medium nib there. And then we'll just do some lines here. So we got our verticals, some horizontals, some diagonals. Uh-oh, here we go. It's that shimmer. It's really getting it. Boy, this poor pen. I have this problem with this pen though too often, which is why you don't see this very often in my rotation. I don't know if it's the pen or the ink I choose to use in it, but it has problems sometimes. All right, I got that. Let's be smart. Let's close up this pen. Oh, you know what I meant to do? Let's, I guess, add it right here. We'll do that. I meant to do the little shady block right there. Close up the pen. So it's all good. And then we'll go back in. You can see how quickly that settles, but so pretty. And we'll go back in and we'll do one big swatch at the bottom again. I was also pretty high touch on this paper when I was setting it up. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have, it looks okay for right now, although you can kind of tell a little bit here and here. This Cosmo Air Light paper, I guess I should have told you that. This is the Just Scribbles Doodles notebook in the Cosmo Air Light. This paper is very susceptible to oils from your hand, in my opinion. And when I'm setting these pages up, I'm using the ruler, I'm drawing the lines and stuff like that. And so I am not as cautious as I should be. So you'll see spots like this, which are most likely happening because of the oils that are on the page where they're just like reflecting. Okay, so that is the first. Gosh, look at even while it's drying. Look how pretty that shimmer is, and it's legible. It's like high shimmer, beautiful blue, and just so pretty. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so for you guys, it's probably been seconds. For me, it's been days since I've been able to come back to this. But I'm going to do a quick little interruption here for something that's really cool that I just got. A little bit of backstory. So Tracy Cullen Pottery, I follow her on Instagram, and I have several things from her. Pen rests and mugs and even like a little sakura leaf pin rest thing. And I've shown it before on here on YouTube, so I don't necessarily need to drag those out. But a couple of months ago, actually while I was doing Ink Madness, so March, I was talking to her in DMs on Instagram about how cool it would be if one of her mugs had ink splatters on it. And she recently got back to me and said, hey, I got your mug ready. And then also mentioned that, like, I can't remember exactly how it came up, but we were talking about Halloween. And she mentioned that she had 2 kind of leftover Halloween mugs. And so I ended up buying 2 of the ink spatter mugs from her because she made 2. So I kind of wanted the first 2. And I got one for myself and one for my sister. And then I got the last 2 Halloween ones again for myself and my sister. Okay, so let me start with the Halloween one just for reasons. So how freaking cool is it? It's almost like a soup bowl size, I guess. But how cool is that with the little nibs as the noses? So the one that my sister got actually is like a blue and a brown. It's kind of split, and in the white there are bones, and there are the cutest bats where the inside is a nib, and then you have the wings off of it. So cool. So anyway, this one is really neat. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this one just yet, but it was just so cute I couldn't pass it up. So okay, and then here's the whole reason I'm interrupting this. And sorry, I sound kind of manic-ish. I feel that way. I had lots of stuff going on at work, and then I got a package, and I felt like it's been a long time since I got a really good package in the mail, so I'm all hyped up. So, sorry. But anyway, here it is. How cool is this? So I am going to use this as my new water mug when I'm playing with inks, which is the whole reason I wanted to do the little interrupt to the video here. You can see the nibs here, and then I had sent her pictures of ink spatters, and she tried to recreate that on here. So how cool is this thing? I'm so excited. Okay, well, thank you for joining me on that little tangent. Let me get some water in here, and we'll get back to actually doing the inks. Be right back. All right, up next we have Yuki-Usagi? Yuki-Usagi. Usagi? Okay, I'm going to go with that. I want to say it means snow rabbit, maybe. I'll put it on the screen here somewhere. This was such a cool color, and I've really enjoyed playing around with this a lot because it goes down kind of a light blue jean sort of blue, and then when it dries, it actually has a lot of brown in it, which is just so cool. So let me put the ink swatchy stuff on, and then I will go through the pen that I put it in. So Sailor ink, if you haven't played with Sailor inks very much, they have a smell to them. I don't know why, but some people really enjoy the smell. Some people, it is a little bit too strong. I would say I'm probably somewhere in the middle there. It depends. I've noticed that when I'm doing like longer writing sessions and I tend to kind of hunch over my page, it can be a little bit much. But other than that, it doesn't really affect me at all. Okay, so you can see this really pretty color. And hopefully we'll watch it. You can already see some of the brown starting to peek in there a little bit. Okay, sorry, I was just... I decided to wear my hat with the mic a little bit different today. And so I'm paranoid that the bill of the hat is getting in the video. But I guess we just have to cross our fingers and hope that's not happening. Okay, so this is a Lamy 2000, or Lamy, depending on how you want to say it. I say Lamy. This is a pen that was one of my first gold nib pens. And my goodness, I wanted to love this thing so much. Because I like the regular Lamys, but the grip bugs my hand after a little while. And this didn't have that, the same way my Studio doesn't have that like kind of triangle shaped grip. But I've had sort of a love-hate with this thing because I think it's a pretty common thing. I've seen it mentioned online and stuff, that you got to find the sweet spot when you write with it, or else you kind of have problems. And I went through a fine and a medium nib in here, and then what actually clicked for me and worked was an oblique medium. I purchased it from Endless Pens a long time ago. It took forever to ship. And then when I got it, I didn't really play around with it too awful much, but I love it. So hopefully you can see the way the nib is kind of just slashed right there as oblique medium. And just like writing with it with like regularly, it does take a little bit of getting used to in the position you have to hold it. But once you do, I love the way it writes. It's so cool. Okay, so enough babbling. Let's try to hold the page here. And let's go. So this is Sailor. Oh, it's so, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is Yuki. I'm going to butcher the end again. Usagi. Your girl decided to take her glasses off because she was getting a headache, and now she's squinting at everything. All right, and this is in my Lamy. Look, you can't even hear it. It writes so smooth. And this, I'm going to say oblique medium because that's what it is. And then we'll do a little bit of this here. And then the side ones you can see are a little bit more broad. I love this nib in this pen. I think this is a winner. I also have the metal one of this, and I think I'm going to have to sell it. It is just too heavy, and I grip my pens pretty tightly when I write anyway, and then that extra heaviness is really, really messing with my grip, which stinks because I love the design, and I love Lamy pens, but it's just, I'll just make more room in my pen case for something else. Let's do this right here. I guess I can do a really thick one since I kind of scrunched it up in the corner. Look, I never said I made these pretty. They're functional, right? Like, that's the thing. It's really interesting on this paper. You're really getting the blue more than any of the brown. So when I do a couple swatches on different paper at the end, I'm really interested to see if you see how this ink goes down blue and turns brown. So we'll see how that looks. Okay, next we have Van Dieman or Dieman. I say Dieman. You guys, one day I'm really going to need to look this stuff up and then like put a Post-it note or something on my desk and say, quit mispronouncing stuff. You've been in this hobby for 2 years now. Get it together. Anyway, Mad Half Hour, a very, very, very pretty purple color with lovely, lovely shimmer. I wanted this because of some of the PET tape I had purple in it. And I also, look how good it goes with this pen, right? Like the purple with the shimmer, it's perfect. Okay, so let me finish shaking this guy up a little bit and move here, do the things with the stuff. Oops, that is probably too much. Ooh, so pretty. Definitely towards the edges of this circle, you can see my fingerprints. Whoopsie, but that's okay. Oh, there's a phrase I haven't been saying for a hot minute. I used to say, but that's okay, all the time. I guess it's back. It's back in style now. Guys, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling. I just wanted to play with inks and make a video. And I got so much dumb adulting crap I gotta do that's frustrating. I don't know why people can't leave me alone. All right. Very nice. God, I love this pen. I love it. And Goulet just came out with a new one from Edison. It's probably going to accidentally end up in my cart once my no buy is up. That's for sure. Okay, this is Dieman Diamond. You know what? I just realized, other than that cat hair that was floating there, I was able to write most of this and still talk. Whereas usually I can't write and talk at the same time. Now that I've brought it to my attention, I'm not going to be able to do it. All right, so this is in my Edison Premiere. And this one is what is this color called? Oh, Starry Primary Manipulation. Okay, so that's kind of long. And this is a, can I see it yeah, I guess so. This is a fine nib. And then let's do some of these. You know, what's interesting, this was the first one I got, right? This was the first Edison I got. Then this was the second Edison that I got. I love them both. But I got this one because of the color and everything, and then ended up just loving the pen and how easy it is to clean and all of that good stuff. And I saw recently that this Starry Primary Manipulation, like the acrylic, I don't know, blank, I guess you would call it, for this, is also now in a Leonardo pen, I think, that I just saw not too long ago. It's really pretty. I love writing with this ink because as you're writing, the shimmer is pretty decent in showing up and it doesn't clog. Like I've never had this clog any of my pens. Knock on wood. So we'll hope the streak continues. Okie dokie. All right. Let's pause for a quick close-up because I really want you to see the shimmer really well. It's so pretty. So there is the Sailor ink. Again, you're not really seeing a lot of the brown come through, but I think that's just this Cosmo Air paper. I'm not the biggest fan. Look at that shimmer. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. All right. Let's see. This spot again is I'm going to go back and put the the 10 other inks that I have inked up here. Just little blurbs with the pen. And then let's get to this guy. All right. So my fourth new ink for July was Wearingeul's Anubis. And you may remember when I got my Esterbrook Estie, the Coffee Monster Co. one, I was debating on what colors to put in there, and I said, you know what, the next time I ink it, I'm going to put Anubis. And that's what I did. So I put this in here, and it has been working wonderfully. The journaler nib is broad enough that the shimmer shows up really nicely. And of course, it writes so smooth. Sorry, it's all stuck in the corners there. It writes so smooth. And just oh wow, did you see that? I didn't even have to fight to open the lid this time. What is happening? I always have to fight to open those. What was I saying? I don't know. Let me get smart and move the ink closer here so that I don't end up dropping it. It's such a pretty brown with this shimmer. It's like what do you call it when it's like kind of like a brown and a gray? Is that a grise? Is that what it is? Or is there some other fancy term for it? I think it's grise. If not, it is now. I've decreed it. We're changing the name. Okay, so this pen, let me shake it up a little bit. What is it about it needing to be at such an angle for me to write with it? That is just a little weird. All right, this is Wearingeul Anubis. Yay, and this is in my Esterbrook Estie. And I'm just going to say Coffee Monster Co. And that it is in a journaler nib. So I'm just going to put J to make my life a little bit easier. And then we'll do our little scribble, scribble, scribble. Just a couple of lines. I am loving this journaler nib. It has been inked up when I first got it. And I cleaned it and then inked it up with this. So it has been inked up and in rotation since I got it, which I think is one of the best compliments you can give a pen, is when you keep it continuously inked. Just like my Sailor Pro Gear Stellar Black Hole, which has been inked since February. Not only do I love the ink that's in it, but that pen is my absolute favorite. Gosh, this is so pretty. So pretty. Can you, like this coppery shimmer thing? Ooh, what did I whistle? What is that, my Matthew McConaughey? Okay, I just made myself crack up. Okay, so let's look at this copper shimmer. I almost did it again. So pretty. All right, and then the last one, I feel like I mentioned this one at some point, somewhere, video, a comment, I'm not sure, but I got this as a sample, and I fell in love with this ink. It is just the prettiest brown. It is the only Taccia ink I have currently, because I sold the other one I had. And I remember trying to find this thing, and I'm going to say Cha is what it's called. It's just brown, basically, but it is the prettiest, pretty brown. It is just so rich and vibrant. Ooh, now I'm fighting with this book again. Okay. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those inks that I continuously keep inked up to. You see how rich that is? Sorry, that's my fingerprints. It is so like, it's almost has a burnt sienna type quality to it in a way. It is just so pretty and stunning. And you know what the word I'm looking for, if I didn't say it already? Depth. It has great depth to it. That's what I was trying to say. And to me, its perfect pairing is this Gioia Italia pen, Gioia pen Italia. This pen has a very long name. It was part of the Dominant Industry kit with the log of Elixir, their newest coloring book, basically. So, and then, gosh darn, that little bug has been around my desk for forever, and it won't stop. All right, this pen just, oh God, it writes so smooth. It's like, I think this is my favorite steel nib. I think it goes this, and then it's going to go to that journaler, probably. And then maybe the Edisons would probably be next, I think. That's probably the order I'd put them in. All right, this pen name is Little Wackadoodle. And by wackadoodle, I mean long. And it is called, what is this? Metis Log Elixir, I think. And I want to say it's a medium. Nope, denied. It is a fine. Oh, I love it. Can you guys see this brown drying? Oh, and the ink itself is like the perfect, what's the word am I looking for? consistency, fluidity. It's not dry and it's not wet. It's the three little pigs of ink. It's just right. You know what? Now that I'm looking at all these colors together, they don't look half bad together. I don't know why I was thinking that. I think I get so used to watching ink swatch videos where people theme their inks, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just, I get used to seeing it like themed like that. And so I think when I pick something like colors like this, there's not really a theme to it. It's like blue, purple, brown. You know what I mean? But when I see them like this, they actually look pretty good. I like it. You can kind of see on this right here, I want to say this is a brown, but for some reason it's showing up slightly reddish on this paper. That's so frustrating. All right, I am going to take a quick break because I need to let this dry so that I can write up here. And maybe what I'll do is I'll take this opportunity to go and put these samples on some other paper and then come back and share that with you. If I didn't say already, I'm going to put this on Tomoe River paper, on Iroful paper, and on some Rhodia. And yeah, so I'll let this dry. I'll go do that. We'll come back, do this, and then we'll take a look at all of it on the paper. Got it? Deal. Oh, hey. I am done and pretty thoroughly covered in ink. So you know that means I have pieces of paper spread across my desk that you can't see where it's drying for now. And we'll get to those at the end. But let's take a close-up of these right here before we get started, since now they're all dry. I think probably the easiest way is to lift versus fighting with a camera. So you can see that Dominant Industry Glacier is just so pretty. I would just caution it can clog in my experience. And then this Sailor with that Lamy nib that I love so much, more Lamy, is just incredible, but it is definitely showing a darker blue here on the Cosmo Air Light paper than it does in real life. And then that Van Dieman or Diamonds, when I hold it this way, I have a feeling you guys are seeing probably a blue shimmer, but from my perspective and the level of my eyes, it's purple for me. And then you can see it's blue. So it's kind of one of those chroma shimmer things going on. And then this Wearingeul Anubis, let me try, there you go. So there's that shimmer, so pretty, such a lovely color. And then that Taccia, this just so deep and rich. I love it. And then here are the other ones that I have inked. It's not the nicest or what have you. I probably should have drawn lines to keep myself, straight, but live and learn. So I have a cheat sheet over here to tell you a couple of things. So I'm going to go bounce around this based on how long things have been inked up. So this Takasumi, you know what? Let me zoom in a little bit because I can't hold this one up and talk at the same time. So let's get, it's probably about as close as I can get for you without moving the camera. So this Takasumi in my Sailor Pro Gear Stellar Black Hole. Oh, you know what? Let me grab the pins too so you can see. Okay, so this one is hands down my favorite pen in my entire collection. I absolutely love it. And I don't know if you can see that shimmer in it. Oh, goodness, that was a big roll of thunder. It is pouring right now. So if you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry, but if you do, hopefully it's soothing. Anyway, so this is my favorite pen. Like I said, hands down, that shimmer in it. It's just perfect. And the nib, so good. And the pairing with this Takasumi, which is a pretty wet ink, in my opinion, is just like the best thing. Let me ask you, do you guys have pen and ink combinations that you just can't see ever changing at all? Because throughout this year, I definitely I definitely have that situation with 4 pens so far. So this is one of them. Again, I didn't write the colorway, I guess, of the pins because I didn't have that much room. But this is the Stellar Black Hole Sailor Pro Gear, medium fine, and that has the Takasume in it. And that has been inked since February. I mean, it's been continuously inked since February because I do keep refilling it. And then the next one, this one right here, is my TWSBI 580 ALR that is in the Iris colorway, the really cool kind of iodized coloring here. This has the Dieman Earl Grey, which I had to laugh at myself because in 2 or 3 different spots I wrote early gray because I get on a roll writing words, and I'll probably never really show my journals in depth, but it's full of things like that where it's I start writing one word and then it just kind of ends up in another word because I'm so used to writing it. This is one of the ones that I kind of didn't intend to use, but when I went to clean my pens at the end of June, mid-June, I had so much ink left in this, and it felt like such a waste, especially since I only have kind of like the smaller diamond bottle. So I kept this one inked, and I'm working my way through it. It's pretty low now, so I feel better about that one. And then The Sorrows of Young Werther, I think is how to pronounce. Somebody corrected me in the comments one time, and I wasn't thinking about the fact that German W's are kind of V's, so Werther. That's where The Sorrows of Young Werther from Wearingeul is in my Benu Euphoria Vodka on the Rocks. This is that other pen that I said I just can't see my inks ever changing. Like this ink and this pen are just, they feel like they're married for life. Great pen. The medium nib on this is awesome. And this has been inked since March as well. And it was not a ink of the month or currently inked, but I inked it when I got the pen in the new pen day video. And it's just been continuously re-inking that one. And this guy, third pen. They're all this month. Third pen that has been continuously inked. This one also was not a color of the month or currently inked. It was when I got this pen. Actually, I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure that these two were on the same currently inked video. Also from March. This is the Kaweco Perkio in the infrared color. This is filled with Dieman's Cerise. And this is just the best color in the entire, it just is so good. So that's another married for life one. And then this one right here was in a new pen day video, but also was in a currently inked back in April. This is my Kaweco in the honey colorway, and it is inked up with Wearingeul's A Star Spattered Hill. And married. I don't know what to say. This is just, these guys are always, I can't see this one having any other color to it. And plus that medium nib, I got lucky, is just perfect for, you can't see it here, but in normal writing, it is just absolutely perfect. All right. And then June currently inked comes along, and I still have this one inked up. I believe I said it in a video. Maybe in the comments. Nope, definitely the video. So this is one of those ones where it was one of my first gold nib pens, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's just so pretty. And plus the platinum pens are some of my favorite. But I got it, and I wrote with it, and it was too thin, and I couldn't stand it. And I was seriously considering selling it, except it was pretty sentimental to me, and also it's just really pretty, period, end of sentence. But I decided to ink it up in June, and man, I've been loving it. So I said it then, and I'll say it again. Give your pens another shot if you haven't, and you're thinking about selling something or getting rid of it. Give it one more try. Maybe try an ink that you just didn't even expect in it, and you might be surprised. This one is still inked up with the Pilot Iroshizuku Cosmo. Cosmo. So that is a great ink and pen pairing, but not married. Then Also from my June currently inked, this is my Lamy studio in that piano gloss red. And this is inked up with Wearingeul's The Great Sage Heaven's Equal. This is another one of those pens that I got it and I thought I would love it because I love Lamys, and it's round here, but it is just on the border of too heavy for what I like. But I'm enjoying writing with it, so that's good. It's got really good flex to it. I like this one a lot. Oh, okay, and then this guy right here, he was a currently inked, but also a new pen day video. This is my second Edison, oh my God, sorry. Edison Pen Company pen, and it is the Goulet exclusive. This one was for the 2025 limited edition. And this is the Collier style, and the color is Stardust. That's right. This one's called Stardust. And this was New Pen Day video and currently inked also in June. And it is still inked with Anderillium's Flying Squid Blue. And I think this might be another one of the married ones. Because for me, it just flows this ink so well. And I had a tiny little sample. I think you guys have probably saw me in my June video, trying to get the ink out of the tiny little vial. I loved this ink so much that I bought a bottle in June, and it's just so good. Okay, then we have my TWSBI Eco, the matcha color, and that is inked with the Dominant Industry Tuna and Olives that's been inked up since June. It was not one of my currently inked. It was a New Pen Day inking, and it stayed because I had so much ink in it. And then the Tuna and Olives, it's from Wonder Pen, so it takes a while to get here. So, yeah, I kept this one inked up and love it. And then I want to say, boy, that was really squeaky. I'm sorry. I want to say it was in the same video as well. I got this Sailor Prophet Jr. And with the Fude nib. And I had inked, again, not currently inked, but from the video. And it has Sailor's Urameku, Emamoyai? Yeah. Anyway, cool ink. So hard for me to say. Okay, so that is ones that I already had inked, plus, oops, let me get some of these pins out of the way here. In addition to ones that I inked fresh for this month. Okay, let's take a look now at these inks on different paper. Now, in the past, I have taken these inks and put them on Tomoe River Paper to show the difference. There was my other Taccia ink that I had, which I cannot remember the name of for the life of me. But I remember during Ink Madness. Oh, you know what? I can just probably look in here while I'm talking. During Ink Madness, I put that color down, and I was shocked at the color itself because it did not match any of my color cards or anything. And so I pulled out the Tomoe River Paper, and the paper matched the color cards better. And so... This guy. This came up such a pretty blue here, and then totally different in the cards. And so I think this was kind of like the last time I actually pulled out some Tomoe River Paper and did a comparison. Now, that being said, I have recently, with my New Pen Day videos, been using a discarded Sterling Ink B5 that has the 52 GSM Tomoe River Paper, the new Sanzen, to do some stuff. But it hasn't been a ink comparison the way that I just did for this. And I'm going to close this up now and tell you guys, story time, why I did. So it's getting toward, and I cannot believe this, but it's getting towards the time of year where people start talking about planners for next year. And with that, a lot of people are talking about the different inks. Sorry, I'm looking at my page and I said inks. I meant papers. Because of the fiasco that the Tomoe River paper has been recently. And a lot of people are talking about switching up the inks that... Oh my god, I said it again. Guys, what's wrong with me? Switching up the paper that they use for their planners. Plus, Hobonichi has come out with some stuff saying that they aren't going to do the free shipping groupings like they did, and some things aren't going to be for sale in the US. And so I've been really interested in some of the different papers. So I went and bought 2 pads of paper. I bought a loose leaf Iroful 75 GSM pad of paper. And then I also bought a Rhodia right here, grid, that is 80 GSM, and then I still have my discarded sterling ink, which is 52 GSM on the new Sanzen. So, that's a whole bunch of talking, and I haven't even really gotten into it. So, with people wanting to use new paper, what I wanted to do is I wanted to see what my inks that I was currently using look like on that paper. Oh my god, that dot. Oh, fixated. Well, I need a sticker or something to cover that up. Anyway, I'll just keep my finger right here. That works. So I wanted to do an experiment and try those different papers, not just for how it's looking, but how it feels to write with. Because one of the things, I close this up and I'm going to grab it again. So one of the problems I've had, and this is just me, I'm sure a lot of people do not disagree with, or do not agree with me, is one of the problems I've had with this Cosmo Air Light paper is that I don't like the way it feels when you write. There's no glide. And I was actually cleaning up my area and trying to think of how to explain what this felt like. And I think I finally got it. So let me kind of put this over here to the side. And I'm going to grab my other pieces of paper, which, yep, they should be dry by now. Okay, so I'm not sure. We'll have to go all the way out probably to show you this at a glance. Let's move this guy a little bit more this way, a little bit more here. Okay, so here's my 3 pieces of paper. This is Tomoe River Paper, the new Sanzen, 52 GSM. This is Iroful 75 GSM, and this is the Rhodia 80 GSM. And this is the, over here is the Cosmo Air Light paper that's in the Just Scribbles Doodles notebook. Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, I was cleaning up my dip pen and stuff like that, trying to think how I can explain what these feel like. And the closest I can get to, if you haven't written on these papers, meaning Cosmo Air, because let's face it, the Tomoe River is the most prevalent one. If you haven't written on Cosmo Air Light, Rhodia, or Iroful, how to explain that to you. And here's what I come up with. It is, in my opinion, here's how I'm going to explain it. This is like writing on velvet. And if you've written on this, you might know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you probably don't. But it has a feel to it. It has a drag to it. Like when you're writing, it feels like you have to push the pen. There's no glide. Now it's not like sandpaper or anything like that. It's still a smooth paper, but it feels like you have to give more effort to push into this. But the Iroful paper here is worse, in my opinion. And I had no idea it was going to be that way, but this is even more of velvety push to try to get the ink out, or the pen across the page. And for this, I was using a dip pen. All of these samples was using the same dip pen. And so the other thing I want to show you is the thickness of the writing. I didn't do a lot of writing samples with this, but so Cosmo Air Light, velvet, Iroful, more velvet. This, the Rhodia, wax. And it doesn't feel waxy necessarily. It feels like it has a coating, kind of like the Tomoe River paper feels like it has a coating. But my goodness, like you can see just look at these two. Do you see the difference in thickness of writing here? This paper, it's like, it felt so hard to write with. Again, I mean, it's, okay, keep in mind, grain of salt, it's not like I was having to chisel my pen across the paper. It's just, there's a definite drag, and this felt waxy, and everything I wrote, the writing was so much thinner, and it was like so hard to get ink out. Like some of these things I had to go over a couple times because the ink was just not coming off the pen. Whereas on the Iroful, it flew right off and then just got really big. So I'm going to go through these two pages. We've already seen the Cosmo Air Light. But I'll go ahead and tell you my winner. And that is Tomoe River Paper. So, because I was seriously considering some of the other planners that were going to use different papers this coming year. But I mean, even with the issues of bleed through and stuff like that, I feel like the Tomoe River Paper is just the more enjoyable writing experience. And not everybody uses their journals to write with, like write on. Sometimes it's just scrap journaling or junk journaling or jotting things down or truly functional, like scheduling, planning. But I use mine for journaling. And so I need something that is enjoyable to write on. And that's Tomoe River Paper. My gosh. Okay. So that's a lot of babbling. I will give you close-ups with these in just a second. But what I want to highlight is the colors are pretty consistent across the board with these. I think that there's only one exception, truly, in my opinion, looking at these. And that is that Sailor Shikiori Yuki-Usagi. So, Yugasi. Oh my God, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Somebody teach me. Send me to like language classes so that I can say this stuff right. And that is that it come out too blue. Like it is not, you know how when I was doing it on the Cosmo Air Light paper and I said, oh, this is too blue. It did it on the Iroful paper too. So that's interesting to me because both of these papers is what I call that velvet feel. So I think that has something to do with it. But truly, the color of that ink is more like the one that's right here on the Rhodia. You know what? Let's show you on the Cosmo Air Light because that's really the best. Because you can also see, okay, can you see how I was talking about faded blue jeans with brown and when you write, it goes down blue and then it kind of dries with this brownish color? That's true. That's how it works. This is just because of the paper, I feel like. And then as far as everything else goes, I think it's pretty comparable. I will say the Rhodia doesn't really show sheen as much as the others, but it does show the shimmer better. And so that kind of tracks with me thinking this feels waxy. So everything's sitting on top. But I mean, I can't really explain the sheen, but let's take a look at, let's do the best last and the worst first. How about that? Let's go in reverse order. Okay, so you'll have to apologize. You'll have to deal with me here a little bit while I try to find the right zoom factor. When I was recording with my phone, it was really easy to just stand up and hold it, but now that I sit down and have a camera, it's very awkward. So let's see if we can't get you about right here, and then if I need to, when I'm editing, zoom in, I can try to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so these are the three Dominant Industry Glacier ones. Again, pretty comparable across the three of them. I would say this one seems to show the sheen more. Again, this is really juicy and this was hard to write. The Sailor Yuki, you just sigh. Every single time I'm going to say it different. These two, again, Rhodia, Iroful, Tomoe River Paper. These two are more accurate than this one. This harkens back to that one Taccia color that was different. I'm kind of surprised on this Iroful paper that the shimmer doesn't show up as much on this Mad Half Hour, but it is there and it is very pretty, but it just doesn't show up on that one. And then Anubis. I'm not going to go over these too much because these were our main colors that we already went through. Then we have the Taccia. It's pretty similar. This one shows up darker, and the shimmer doesn't sit on top as much with the Iroful for the Great Sage Heaven's Equal. And then the Kosamosu is pretty comparable across the board, and so is... Hey, how about I put those on the screen, you know, the ones I'm talking about? And so is a Star Spattered Hill. Very, very comparable, very cool. Okay, so now let's look at the second column of inks. And I don't know the best way to do this because it's going to be, let's maybe like this. Let's try it like this way. Okay, so the Dominant Industry Tuna and Olives is a super great green. I love it to death. You can see on the Iroful paper how much it spreads. That's the word I was looking for earlier. It definitely spreads on this paper. And it also kind of comes off more bluish, which tracks with the same way that this one came off more blue. And then this Sailor Urameki... I'm done. It's this color here comes off more green on these two papers, but then here on the Iroful you kind of get the more pink. You get the pink duotone colored than you do with the green. This one was also kind of interesting because I used it in the Prophet Junior, which was a Fude nib. So if you look on this paper, it actually shows up kind of gray. And when I was in my journal, in my Tomoe River Paper journal, it also looks gray. So it doesn't come across with this kind of green blue for me, at least. And then the Flying Blue Squid right here from Andorilium. I really didn't think that I would love a deep blue with red sheen ink so much, but I love it. It is just great. It's so fluid. It's wet ink. It's perfect. Okay, now here's the problem because now I gotta try to figure out how to do. You know what? Let's just do. No, I don't want to fold this. We'll figure it out. Oh, you know what? Genius. You guys are so smart. Why didn't you tell me to do this in the first place? Look at that. Kind of better. I just need to get it all on the screen now. Oh, I can't get this paper. Okay, so where were we? We were on The Sorrows of Young Werther. That's right. The Tomoe River paper is really showing that yellow shading that it has that I love so much. And the Iroful does a pretty good job, and so does this one, although you can definitely see the darker blue a little bit more on the Rhodia. And then my favorite black is the Takasume, which I feel like technically it might be like supposed to be a dark gray, but for me it's black. It's my favorite. Not so heavy on the sheen here, but when you look on the Iroful paper, man, that sheen and the big blob just is really kicking. You can really see it. And then on the Rhodia paper, it's barely there at all. The Rhodia paper for the Dieman Earl Grey, this is what I was talking about. I wrote early gray. Pretty similar, except on this paper, this is more blue hued than here. So these two are very similar. And then Dieman Cerise is very close to the Cosmo. And you know what? Funny enough, I am doing terrible with this. I can't like talk and look and everything else. I didn't intend for all of the pinks, the bright pinks, to be next to each other, but that's how it worked out. So it's kind of cool. You can see them. The thing that I would say is a little bit difficult to see with these two, and it's kind of easier on the Tomoe River paper, but this is like a, how do I say it? It's like a lighter pink. And for whatever reason, when this thing goes down, when I write with it, it feels like it has a bit of orange to it, which is one of the reasons I love it the most. Okay, I think that's good. Let me zoom back out because I'm doing such a terrible job with the close-ups. They need to be fired or demoted or something. Anyway, so that's it. That is the inks that I inked up for this month and the continuing inks, some as far back as February, which I thought was really cool because it shows you how much I love some of these inks and the pairings. I also thought it was really funny how I have Married for Life pens now, which I didn't expect to have that many of them, but they're all happening right now. So this one, this one, this one. Oh, I'm running out of hand space here. Okay. Oh, nope. Hang on. Oh, we can do it. Okay. These ones right here feel like it would feel weird to put other inks in them that they don't have right now. I'm sure I will at some point, but for right now, they're stuck with those colors, which is okay. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have designated pens, in my opinion. This has been a very long and rambly video, but thanks for joining me. If you liked this video, if you're still watching, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you like this video, please thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, albeit a little bit sporadic lately, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.